I'm probably not the best example, but hey, if you learn something from me, I applaud you. So, what's going on? So, it's kind of come to my attention where I was commenting on my other social media platforms where there are actually people who are kind of looking forward to watching my videos, and some of you are using them as tutorials. Some of you are trying to take away lessons learned that I'm kind of unfortunately kind of being the brunt of, but it's good for you, which is the best part about all this, right? You see someone do one thing, and if you can improve upon it, hey, improve. So anyways, I was kind of in this comment section of one of my posts. Specifically, it was for the modern driveline clutch pedal, the hydraulic clutch pedal assembly that that modern driveline makes for these 1965 cars, and it kind of just hit me in the feels, with how there are some people who are watching my videos, which to me I think is kind of crazy. But yeah. Anyways, let me provide you guys an update and something better than you guys hunting for the update in a comment or a post. So, full disclosure, this is the Mustang Steve equipped bearing, sealed bearing, because you can see that he's got the sealed bearing there. Pedal assembly, but that's not the pedal assembly that's on the car. So, there's nothing wrong with this kit. I did not do the best, I did not take as good of care. I think I've kind of got onto a roll with welding, and I put too much heat, and it kind of warped my bearing race and my bearings and things like that. Now, this is salvageable. I can learn from this, and probably if I buy another Mustang Steve kit, I can cut the bearings out, reinstall new ones, and everything will be all hunky-dory. But for the most part, this is just going to be spare parts for the pedal assembly that I have. So you don't see fenders anywhere in the garage, and that's because I'm currently playing around with some bodywork, some trick paint tricks and things like that, trying to get the paint exactly kind of how I want for the car, because the car has so much character. I just want it to maintain that vision I have for the car as far as its character goes. So moving along over here, I got the transmission back from Eagle Transmission over here in Houston. They installed the TIC Performance billet shift forks, as well as the new C7 carbon hybrid synchros in the transmission, which awesome. Those guys always have treated me right and done a good job. So got the transmission back. It's pretty much ready to bolt up and just be dropped right back into the car. So pretty excited about that. I made modifications to mount my master cylinder where it is. So if you have a 1964, 65, 66 Mustang, my master cylinder is going to be, in comparison to yours, it's going to be moved over 1/2 inch toward the outside of the car, and then it's raised up 1.5 inches to clear the heads of the Coyote. So that was a pretty major kind of deal. I basically had to cut a panel out. I got sheet metal, and I basically made a new flange, welded it back in, and here we are. I have a new location for the Wilwood master cylinder. Something else that I have installed over here is, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I have the modern driveline, master cylinder right there. It's kind of tucked away. I actually installed that per the instructions that Modern Driveline provided. It's in the location that it was supposed to. Even though the pedal assembly has been upped and kind of moved over, the linkage is not in the bind, and it moves pretty good. I'll show you in a minute. Another little modification I had to make, the proportioning valve normally doesn't mount right here. Normally it's where the clutch master cylinder is. So I had to kind of flip this around, and I had to get a longer tubing to kind of come out here to put that in that spot there. So little things, it's not going to interfere with anything. I've had the motor probably in and out of the car probably about 4 different times now, just trying to test fit everything. So it's good there. All right, don't mind the mess. We're working on it. So this is the modern driveline. This is the other side of the firewall. Pretty cool little deal. Now, one modification I had to do to the factory pedal assembly was I had to cut off the little perch right here. I'll show you. I had to cut off where they had the helper spring for the clutch. So looking on our failed attempt here, this part right here, I basically just lopped this one off because this top part was actually hitting the bottom of the cowl. And so that had to go because of how the pedal assembly was lifted up. You know, that became an interference. So so that's cut off. Now something else that I'm looking at is to get maybe possibly a little more stroke out of the pedal, which I'm thinking this little pad right here is for comfort. For the little stop there, I understand I need a stop. However, if I can gain that 1/2 inch of stroke, then that might, you know, I don't know if I'll need it, but that might help. But for the most part, it looks like it's getting a full stroke out of it. But we'll definitely put it to the test when we get everything back together. This is super adjustable. I have plenty of slack to lengthen these 2 Heim joint clevis deals, where I can lengthen. I probably have like a whole inch of length where I can you know, increase the push rod to that little deal. Super nifty. I like it. There were people who were telling me that, hey, you just keep an eye out. Some people had problems with this, you know, binding up. Man, I just don't see how that's gonna bind up though. It seems like it's all right. Then the brake pedal has got a heck of a stroke. We're gonna need that pedal ratio for the 15/16 master cylinder bore. Right off the bat, my garage is an absolute wreck. It's very rarely that the garage gets in this much disarray. Crap everywhere, instructions, disclaimers, parts and fluids and all sorts of stuff, where it gets all over the place and messy like this. I'm usually a pretty organized guy, and I wish it was a little more organized. However, I know that the smaller we make this parts pile, the more room we have for activities. So for the most part, that's the updates. Not the end of the video. Hold on. But yeah, for the most part, that's to kind of catch you up because of my lack of filming. So it is November. I'm hoping that I have this car done. The registration is due this month, and I'd like to have this thing running and driving, and that way we have no hiccups with the DPS or DMV or I forgot what they're called in Texas, but the people who, you know, are the authority on vehicle registrations. So now, what is the next thing that we're doing to this is, well, we're going to get the electrical harness down, and that's the next thing. We're going to break out the electrical harness. We're going to get the heat shrink, the crimpers, the I got a lighter for the heat shrink, but the wiring loom and all that good stuff. And it's going to be time to rewire this car. But we're gonna rewire the car, and it's not gonna catch on fire. So there's the update that I feel that my audience of currently 513 subscribers, I feel that I'm owed to you, and that I'll do much better with recording my progress, even if it's kind of spliced in little extra days, because that's kind of the deal. I'm just a regular guy. I work a normal 9 to 5. I am not a mechanic by trade or anything like that, and you know, that's maybe the same boat you're in, right? My audience is, you're a guy who's on YouTube watching another guy do something that you kind of want to do, and you're just trying to see that experience, what you can learn from it, so that your project will do better. Anyways, that's going to conclude the video. Thank you for watching. This is the quick update. I'm going to go ahead and probably go right into wiring the car, and then that'll be the next video to come. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and